All right, second grade, I am going to go through McDonald's drive-thru. And the first thing I need to get is a blue piece of paper. And I'm gonna bring it back to my table spot. And before I start painting, I am going to write my name on the back. So I might have to find my, I guess I wanna use a colored pencil maybe, or a crayon. So find your crayons. And I'm gonna use a white crayon and write it in a corner. Okay, then I can clear my table again, put my crayons away, and now I can go back through the McDonald's drive-thru because my table space is ready. So I flip my paper over. You may decide if you want to put your paper horizontal or vertical, how you want to make your city, it's up to you. Okay, I think I'm going to decide to do mine that direction. So now I'm going to go back through McDonald's drive-thru. Quick reminder, we're not touching the cutting boards. These are for teacher use only. Okay, we're not using those, but we are going to get a cup and a plate. Your plate will not have paint on it. I'll bring the paint to you. A cup. I'm going to put a marker lid in it. I'm going to put one of the little pieces of paper in it, a big piece of paper, or cardboard, I guess, and one lid. Okay, and you'll also take a blank plate. My plate has paint on it already, so I'm going to make a second trip here because I only have one hand. Anything you cannot carry, you can always make more than one trip. Set it down, come back, I'm going to get this too. Okay, now we are ready to print make. So give me 1 second here to get my camera set up on the iPad stand. I'm gonna get something to prop it up here a minute so it's not so. There. All right, now you can see my paper. Okay, so the whole idea behind printmaking is that you get to stamp your objects. So when I use these, I can stamp them, which means I can dunk them in the paint and I can make one stamp. I'm not going to slide. I'm not going to slide this way. I'm going to make a stamp. So a stamp is when you just touch it to your paper, right? That's the whole idea behind printmaking with these objects. So obviously this one is going to make a longer line like this. This one is going to make a shorter line. This one, we're going to use this side of it to make a solid circle. I can stamp it and make a solid circle. And this one, the marker lid, we are going to use to make an open circle. So I can stamp it to make an open circle. I don't want this video to go too long because I want you guys to have plenty of time to create your cities. But I want to talk to you about starting your city. Let me see if I can get this. There, that's a little bit better. Now you can see the middle maybe. I want to talk to you about starting your city. So when you first begin your buildings, I think everybody should start with like a rectangle in the middle of your paper, and then we can build off of there. So I'm going to show you how to do your first rectangle. I'm going to take my plate of paint, and all I'm going to do is tap my cardboard, the end of my cardboard into my paint. I didn't push really hard. I don't really want it to bend. I want to keep this part clean because this is where I'm going to keep my hands on, and I'm going to hopefully have my neighbors also use that. But I'm going to start, and I'm just going to stamp 1, lift up, 2, lift up, 3, and I can keep stamping until my paint looks like it runs out. 4, I think I'm going to reload. I'm going to make a tall building, but I'm going to reload my paint, dunk it in here. And I think I want my building to be about this wide. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have to be careful about keeping my lines straight. I'm not dragging my cardboard into it. And I think I want this building to have a triangle roof. You guys may make it straight or however you want. I think I'm going to do 1, 2, and I have to add a little bit more to it. There, so I overlapped my lines a little bit. Now, when I'm done using an object, I can either set it on the side of my plate or set it in my cup standing up so it's ready for the next person to grab. Okay, now I decided that I want to use my marker lid, so I'm just going to dunk the end of it in there. And I can look, oops, it looks like looks like I missed a little bit of it. You see how it's not all the way painted? So I'm going to dunk it in again. Oh, it's got a bubble. There we go. And I'm going to start making some windows. 2, I think I want 3 windows. I'm going to dunk it in again. Check it out. 1, 2, 3. Got a bubble, so I'm going to use the edge of my plate. There we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm really careful about not sliding it. I'm really careful about only stamping it. Okay. I want to make sure that I got my bubble off of there. I guess it's not a big deal if you have a bubble in it. It might just be solid. 1, 2, 3. And you know what? I think I want to leave the bottom for some doors. So I'm going to set this back into my cup because that's where I put the things so that I can grab them. I'm going to stand it straight up so that nobody grabs the painted end. The next one I'm going to use is my little one so that I can make skinny doors here. So I'm going to dunk it in the paint. That's how wide my door is going to be. And I could use my big one again, or I could just use this little one and use it 2 times instead. 1, 2. So when I want to make a longer line, I just connect them. But when I want to make a short line, I have to use like a short one. I think I also want to put a tower on this building. There we go. Now I have a tower. I'm going to set this in my cup so that it's easy to pick up, and I'll show you how to use the last tool. This last one is maybe the trickiest. So I'm only going to hold the top, and I don't want to push it so far in my paint that it's all coming up the side. I just need to touch it. So I can look, nope, I'm going to rub it over here to see if I can get paint over the whole surface. So I'm going to kind of rub it and see if I can get it all the way covered, which I did. But I didn't want to dunk it in my big pile because I thought it'd get too messy. So I have it all covered. And now I'm going to stamp one solid circle at the top of my building. There, it kind of looks like a watchtower. And then this one object, instead of putting this in your cup, I recommend putting this one kind of off to the side of your plate so that somebody can grab it still. It might get stuck in the cup otherwise. So there's one building that I have. Now I can be creative and add my other buildings. I'm going to go back to my cup. I'm going to use my big cardboard, so I got to be careful how to grab it here. I got my big cardboard, and I'm going to get it all painted up again, and I can start building on. 2. It might be easiest if you draw or paint all of your buildings first and then go back and add your windows. I think this one, I want it to be a little bit of a different shape. Oop. It's okay if your lines don't match up perfectly. It's all right. Mine don't either. Okay. And this is the first time we've ever done this, so we're just practicing how to print make. I think I want one that goes behind here. I gotta keep getting paint on my cardboard. There. See, I'm starting to get more buildings, and you can add however many buildings as you want. You could make a building that comes over here and add a bridge that goes between. There are a million ideas that you could do. You could add towers. I could do maybe I want my tower, oops, I forgot, I gotta put that back in my cup. I could add, onto my tower, I could put like, maybe it's like an antenna. Like that. You can be as creative as you want. The only thing that we don't want to do is we don't want to fill in our buildings more than just like a circle. We don't want to fill them in because once they dry, we are going to color them in. Okay? You probably will get paint on your hand at some point. We'll try our best. Like I noticed that my marker lid fell in here, so I could do my best to pick it up and try and stay clean. If you do get paint on your hands, we will wash up at the end of the day. But hopefully we're trying to keep our messes to a minimum, not sticking your hands in the paint on purpose, not painting places where we shouldn't be, okay? Doing the best that we can to keep our papers clean, keep our table spots clean, and keep our hands and clothes clean. All right, have fun creating.